Hey, welcome to the Razzle Dazzle Show, a podcast where we talk about our favorite video games and all things pop culture with an emphasis on our favorites. We're your hosts, Mauro, Jared, and Chaz.
Razzle Dazzle.
Razzle Dazzle.
And welcome to another edition of the Delta series. If this is your first time listening to the Delta series, this is basically a series of episodes where we talk about what's been going on the past month with each other in pop culture and just catch up with not only us, but also you guys at home. Please let us know what you think about this episode somewhere on the internet. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at Razzle Dazzle Show, on TikTok at Razzle_Dazzle_Show, on Blue Sky at Raz-Show Pod, and on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Raz_Daz_Pod. And with all that being said, it's Razzle Dazzle time! Hey man, happy May! It's my birth month. We're recording this right before my birthday, so I'm really excited about it. It's been a good month, man.
Happy Jared's birthday eve.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Even though this is coming out after, which is fine.
Happy post-Jared birthday.
Happy post-birthday to me. I've hoped I've had a good birthday weekend.
I mean, you can lose sleep tonight and get the episode out tonight. I mean, like...
Listen, man, I ain't gonna do all that.
On his birthday, Chaz.
We're already doing enough by doing this recording right now. Anyways, I'm just gonna start off because I get to be selfish finally. I'm kidding. So I just want to start off with recapping what's been going on with the show this past month. We've had some amazing people on the show within the past couple of weeks. We've had starting out the month with Sky Deva St. John Bennett. She is an incredible indie alt rock pop artist in her own right. She does music like nobody else that I've heard. It's so unique. It's so refreshing. And she is just ultimately a sweet, sweet, amazing, awesome person. And she also voices Pyra and Mithra in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, among other video games. But as you guys know, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is my favorite Xenoblade game and also one of my top probably 5 games of all time. So that was an awesome thing. After that, we had the incredible Pokekells from the YouTube channel, the Pokemon educational YouTube channel back in the day called the National Dex. Thanks to her, I've explained in that episode that thanks to her and Alex Fasciani, who we've had on the show a few months ago, that kind of snowballed my love for video games and getting into this whole world. So, it's kind of responsible for this in a way. So that's super freaking cool. She's super awesome. We got to talk a lot about Pokemon. We got to talk a lot about animals and just some really cool, deep feelings there. And just last week, we had the incredible, the amazing, the mind-blowing Patricia Somerset, the voice of Princess Zelda herself. You guys know this. The Legend of Zelda is my favorite video game franchise of all time. Having the voice, the official first voice of this titular character on the show, not only by itself is amazing, but she is amazing in her own right. All these people are amazing. They are so cool. They're so sweet. We had very nice, fun conversations with them, and I'm just so happy and so lucky that we got this opportunity to meet them and talk to them. And what I also like is Zelda, Pokemon, and Xenoblade are probably my top 3 video game franchises, and I got to kind of express that in a way all this month. So that's just been really freaking cool, man.
Yeah, dude, I love how it all just kind of worked out on your birth month, dude.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it. Yeah, that's for the show. We got a review coming out, a review for a indie game that just released coming out after this Delta episode. So I'm not going to say much about it here, but look forward to that. So who wants to go next?
Mauro.
I can. Yeah. I had my hand raised, but I realized that we don't have cameras anymore.
Hold on. You, Mauro, the one in the back with your hands raised? Yeah, you can go.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Professor Chaz. Have you guys heard that song by Daft Punk and Julian Casablanca, the lead singer of The Strokes, Instant Crush?
No.
It's a good song. Love it. It's what happened this month. I heard that song. Oh, and my car flooded. Keeping the f***ing bit going. It just finds a way to best itself every other month. We had 1 hour of rain 3 Sundays ago here in Miami. South Florida was drenched. 1 hour of rain. that was some of the worst fucking flooding I've ever seen in my entire life. Sorry about the bleeps, Jared, but I'm gonna fucking curse, man. I took oh my God. Bro, okay. I was with Mari going to the mall, a nice little sibling Sunday, if you will. And it was raining. I was talking with them, I was just driving, and I wasn't super paying attention, but I did notice what appeared to be a puddle. And because it's Miami and this is normal, I just went through. It's not the first time, and in my mind, it wasn't going to be the last time. I promise you this is the last time. By the time I realized I was the water was already, it took a split second. The water was already up to my headlights. I tried to reverse. I couldn't. I tried to go forward. That just made it worse. I don't know why I was pressing on the gas, letting the motor just suck in all this water, but I was panicking. And the water started seeping in. By that point, I just kind of, I swore, I cursed, I punched Susan. My car. Susan is my car, by the way. Susan is my car. There's no human that was punched. But, I had to, there's nothing I could do. I had to take the bullet. I had to take Madi out of the car. So I opened that door and the water went in. Absolute total loss by the insurance. So
I totally misunderstood the situation because I thought you walked out of your job to find that your car flooded. I thought the rain was so bad that I guess you parked in in a low spot in the parking lot and the parking lot flooded up until that point. I completely missed this. You never told us this part, which is fine, but I totally misread the whole entire situation. Damn, dude.
Yeah, no, I actually, what you described would have been preferable because at least my car would still be driving. The reason it's a total loss is because I was in it and I was pressing the gas and it was opening it up and sucking in what it assumed to be oxygen, but was in reality water.
It has oxygen in it.
Oh, yeah. You. Dude.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I'm sick. I'm not sick anymore, but I got that thing going on where you're getting over the sickness and you still cough a little bit.
Yeah.
Long story short, I got another car. I bought it for I found a 2015 Chevy Cruze by the grace of God outside of somebody's parking lot. They were selling it. It was only $3,000. I managed to talk them down to $2,800. And I'm trying to look at the positive right now, which is that I no longer have a $490 car note every month. So I'm a little richer than I was.
Okay.
And that's how I'm moving forward.
What's this car's name?
Susan. What do you?
Susan. Oh, just like Roach. It's always Susan.
It's always Susan. Jared, actually,
okay.
I don't know if you remember this, but you were around because 2011, middle school.
Oh my God.
Yeah. On my phone, I found this stupid. I was 11. I found this Facebook post, one of these chain whatevers where it's type in your phone number and it'll tell you your phone's name. And what it really was just a link to some random person's profile. Every number for some reason linked to a random profile. Mine linked to some woman named Susan. And so I'm okay, my phone's name is Susan. And then that phone broke and I got another one and I just named it Susan too because I had the same phone number. And then somebody asked me about my backpack's name, so I just called it Susan. And since there, every possession I've ever had has been called Susan. This is the third car I've owned, so this is Susan 3. Susan the third, if you will. Suzanne, maybe.
This is very interesting. I never knew this.
No way. Yeah. Everything I own, except for one skateboard, is called Susan.
What's that one skateboard's name?
Can I say that name? I don't know if I can say that name. But
okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, no. What I can say is that this the name of this board was somebody that I know's dead name, right? They don't use that name anymore.
I understand.
And I'm right, but then I'm hey, dude, but that's still a really cool name. Can I have it? You're not going to use it. Can I have it? And they were yeah, no, absolutely. Go ahead, take it. I don't care. I don't need it. And I'm cool. I'm going to name my board that. And they were baller, that's so cool. So, that's my board now. But that's the only board. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 skateboards, and 4 of them are called Susan.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's me. That's what happened this month. I got a Steam Deck in lieu of a new PC.
You did.
That's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. My roommate added a bunch of mod packs to it on a whim. It's a desktop. Like, it has a desktop mode. I installed an emulator. I installed every emulator up until a PS4, actually, but I have no games on it yet. Like, no emulator games.
Interesting.
Longer. But yeah, that's my month. No new car, new deck. Bye, Susan. Rip, Susan. Everybody say goodbye to Susan. Let's have a moment of silence for Susan too. All right, that's all she needs.
Goodbye, Susan.
Goodbye, Susan.
I never knew you. I only saw you once, and that's it.
And that's it. That's pretty much how it goes. Well, it's my month. What have you been up to, Chaz?
So I'm going to start off with my month. It all happened in a matter of a week. Absolutely amazing. Me and Jared have spoke about it. We're gonna go with my current dilemma. Expedition 33. It's a turn-based Souls game. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Wait, Souls?
Okay, I understand what you mean by that. First of all, it is a JRPG, yes, turn-based. It's the hottest new JRPG game out right now for multiple reasons. The score, like the music for one thing, the visuals look great. The story itself, like from what I have heard, is very fascinating, very intricate, and very detailed. But like the battle mechanics, the battle systems, yeah, it's turn-based, but it blends a lot of other JRPG mechanics or battle systems together. Like you can get like some Persona, you get like some Sea of Stars, some Chrono Trigger-esque, like, you know, some classic Final Fantasy thrown in there. And I think what Chaz means by the Souls-like, it's because like the enemies, they like fake you out, they trick you, they're pretty brutal from my understanding.
Okay, so you have to like learn their patterns.
Oh yeah, and sometimes I think they change it up too. You know, so like, and each enemy is different. That's kind of similar. That's kind of similar to Sea of Stars, which the newest DLC update was actually this past week, which is cool. That's one thing I'm going to do for my birthday. Like, I'm going to get through that. So, like, Sea of Stars is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm going to get through that, but it has a similar mechanic with its battle system where, yeah, there's a lot of Chrono Trigger, a lot of Final Fantasy and all that stuff. But if you time your attacks, like if you press A or whatever at the right time when you attack or when you block, then it does either more damage or you receive no damage or whatever. So there's like that similar battle mechanic in Expedition 33. And that's something I really want to play as well. But like, you know, it's $50 right now. I can't really swing that because I just got Baldur's Gate because that got on sale. So yeah, but Chaz, you've been playing it a lot and you've been enjoying it.
Yes. Back to my little dilemma. So, Mauro, I know you might not understand, and Jared,
I understand quite a bit.
I don't know. It won't be a spoil, but it'll be a spoil in a way, I guess. Are you okay with me saying such things around you?
I'm fine with it, you know, and I understand that from what you have said. I understand that a lot, if not most, JRPGs have fake endings and it keeps going. Dragon Quest XI does the exact same shit, dude. Like, you're about to hit a climax of the story and you're like, oh, this is it. And then, nope, you've beat that boss and it keeps going and going. You're like, what the hell is going on here? I get it, man. Go ahead.
So, Mauro,
yes.
Have you heard anything of the game at all?
Literally just what you guys have said. I keep seeing it on Steam, but I didn't know what it was about. I heard from a trusted individual that it is a French RPG.
Yes, it is.
There we go.
So, to explain to you this game, there's this giant being in the far distance named the Paintress, and she writes a number on this obelisk, the giant obelisk that everybody can see it, and it counts down. But as she counts down, so everybody above that age and above kind of just Thanoses and flowers in a way. They're gone. They disappear. And so
she started at 100 and now it's at 33.
Yep, which is Expedition 33. Expedition 33 is the name of the group that goes out. So starting at I think 99 was the first one since she started at 100. Or no, 100 was the first one. 99 was the next one. The first expedition went out called Expedition 100. She did it the next year. Expedition 99. So now
The
we're on
expedition's
Expedition
goal. The expedition's goal is to stop the Paintress or something, right? Like kill her.
Yep, to kill her.
Yeah.
Right. So
To stop doing this. Yeah.
So I'm playing this game and I finally get to the Paintress. Oh my god! Right. Obviously, she's a different being. I expected that, but like I finally fight her. And congratulations, like every boss fight that you expect at the end of the game has more than one phase. Cool. We enter phase 2. I have no characters left, so I'm doing this whole thing over and over, starting to fight again. And I finally beat her in phase 2. Can you imagine what happens next, Mauro?
Phase 3.
Phase 3.
Mother effer had a phase 3, and I almost lost it.
Okay, I see that. I see your frustration. However, in the back of your mind, as a gamer, you kind of always have to expect that. Rules of 3, right? Rules of 3, and they work. It's very thematic. In video games, I always expect it. In Jak and Daxter games, oh boy. I do think, though, however, that it is a little bit mean in this particular instance.
Well, it's supposed to be challenging.
Well, it is.
No?
Yeah, it is. But like, imagine like phase 1 has its own 8 movesets that you have to now learn to counter and live through.
Dude.
And then you gotta learn phase 2. And then the game thought it was funny to learn 3 phases of combat for one person.
Listen, dude, that is almost nothing in terms, not almost nothing, I'm sure it's very tough, but like that is so similar.
Nothing.
Like what you're telling me comes to no surprise because single player JRPGs is my shit, you know, like that's my genre of games, so I play those a lot. Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII, he has so many phases, and especially now with like Remake and Rebirth, right? Each phase he fights differently, and that's a bitch to deal with. And this isn't turn-based, you know, this is like an action JRPG, but now you're in turn-based and like, yeah, you gotta relearn, you gotta learn all the patterns and like see all the tells, you know, like, yeah, man, that's part of the fun. And you're a monster hunter. So like, this should be nothing for you, dude. You're a king at learning monster patterns, so this should be easy.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Like, I am learning these patterns. Like, I play with, you hear him when he comes in the room sometimes when we do the podcast. Harmon, Scooby.
Yeah.
So the way you play it is you have 3 people, and then you can send up, like, after your first 3 people die, you can, like, request backup, which is, like, the other characters you didn't use during the first combat.
Right.
So,
that's cool.
We call it Team A and Team B. So I'm Team A, so I choose my 3 people I want to play with, and he's Team B. He chooses his players.
That's really cool.
So like that way we're both involved into the game, even though it's not multiplayer. We're like, okay, I know my characters. I don't need to know his. He's going to handle his characters. But the only, like, just sharing some of the stats, like the pictos you get, you gotta like look at each other and be like, okay, I'll grab this if you grab this. That way we're not like, somebody's not deprived. Like,
right.
You're being fair about it.
That's an excellent way to play a single player game multiplayer. I've never thought about doing that. And also, not a lot of JRPGs let you do that. Like, most RPGs, if you have a party of 3 or 4, usually that's the case, and you die with all of those characters, that's it. Game over. You have to restart from the next checkpoint. They don't let you have the backup characters come in after. So that's also very unique and something I like about that, and I'm excited for. And that's a great way to play co-op kind of with your friend. That's so cool.
Yeah, I absolutely love it, and I wish we can do that together, right. Like online, but it won't, then it'll be multiplayer at that point. You get me?
Yeah.
But I love that aspect of the game. I love that every enemy, like you said, like I like Monster Hunter, and I like the monsters because they have different movesets. I like learning new things about new creatures all the time. So I love that every creature, Mauro, I mean it, every creature has its own movesets that have their own timing. So like the map layout I have in my head of every creature I may walk up upon, I'm pulling out of files. The moment I see a creature, I'm just like, okay, I know this moveset, this timing. I know this move's a pump fake. And I know this one, it has a delay to it. And like, this game loves doing the pump fakes. Like, I can't tell you how many times I thought a boss was about to swing on me, and then he just like cocked his arm back and then put it back to the side. And now you did like your little parry ability, and now your character's in animation and he just kicks you. And you can't do anything about it because you're in animation.
Oh, no, that's so f***ed. That's mean, dude.
So you gotta like sit there and look, or there'll be like jump attacks where they jump in the air, and it's a heavy attack, so you can get one tap, and you think he was about to come down, and you do your little parry ability, and guess what? He's not moving. And then you're in your middle of your animation, straight down he goes. And it's just like, ouch. Like, you gotta learn down to like the frame when things about to happen, because you also benefit when you parry at the right time.
That's very evil, dude. I love that. I love that. Oh my lord. I mean, it would irritate the hell out of me in a good way.
Oh, but the achievement you feel when beating, like, even just like a little side character, knowing that you learned this movesets to fight back, is like, you feel accomplished on each one you beat. But to end that, because then this whole episode would be about Expedition 33, because I can go on about it like Jared said.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
The music and the animation, the story, it's all absolutely amazing to me. And I only played one turn-based game before, and that is Baldur's Gate, and I love Baldur's Gate. And this one...
that's a very different turn-based RPG. That's a very different game.
So different, but I love them both. Different topic. What else I did this month? I also went to Welcome to Rockville.
Oh, yeah.
Just for you, Mauro, because I know you like rock bands. I'll pull up the list real quick, just for you. I'm not going to read off all 800 bands that was there. But like 3 Days Grace, 3 of the Dead Men, 3 Doors Down, Green Day, Linkin Park, Korn, Bad Omens, Pierce Veil, I Prevails, Hollywood Undead, Sleeping with the Sirens.
Hollywood Undead.
Those are just the ones I'm going to list you, and I will send you the link, or you can actually just look it up, and you can look at the entire set, and you'll be like, I missed out.
Oh yeah, of the thing that I missed. Yeah, no. I'm good. I think I'm good off on that. I don't think I will, actually. I'm very happy that you did get to like see that and you got to experience that. And you said that Sleeping with Sirens and Pierce the Veil did like a together thing?
Yes, so they have a song they did together before already. It's called King for a Day, which you know that song.
Yes, yeah, but they played it. They played King for a Day.
Yeah, because Sleeping with Sirens were on before Pierce the Veil, and then Pierce the Veil came on, and it was like, you know what, let's bring somebody back to the stage. And they started singing the song, and oh my god. I sent you the video, too. It was just absolutely amazing. The video does it no justice. And, like, being next to the mosh pit or being, like, drug into it, fighting my way back out of it, it was still worth it to me. I will absolutely go back again next year if I could.
Man, honestly, let's plan that, because I've only ever been to Rockville once, and that was, like, 3 years ago.
I would love
It was good. It was good, but...
I would love to plan that with you, but hopefully, by this time next year, I'm hoping to be in another country.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting.
No, this is news to me. What?
He's told you before.
I'm trying to go to Japan.
Oh, like to live?
No, for my next contract. 3 years.
Oh.
I'm trying to spend 3 years in Japan.
This is me live sinking in, because yes, I've heard this, but in no way have I incorporated this into like the things that are happening in the future.
Oh, don't worry. It's going to really solo in when we try to schedule episodes.
Oh my god, yeah, it's going to be a bitch.
You know, I already don't see you, so like it shouldn't matter, but like now I'm sad. Like it literally shouldn't matter, because this is mostly like an online, like this is where we interact, but damn, I don't have you in Georgia for 3 years next year, man.
Yeah, we can't just go meet up at Jared's no more.
No, dude, you'll be back. You'll be back when I'm 30.
I said, I'm not gonna lie to you.
25 right now.
I don't plan on coming back from Japan for the 3 years that I'm gone. I already told my mom I was planning on spending all my vacation days in Japan exploring.
No, that's fair, as you should, because like, dude, like if you're spending 3 years over there, like working, right, like on site, it would only make sense that the free time that you have, you get to explore this new country that, like, Lord knows when you're gonna get to explore it again. Absolutely, dude. I'm right there. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, man. I would do the same thing. All right, I'm gonna take the spotlight a bit more. Overall, like, my month has been pretty chill. A lot of the things that I've been playing and watching and reading even are things that is to come. That's like stuff for future episodes. Like, really, I have been devoiding myself of a lot of other things, which is completely fine because I've been enjoying myself. But I'm just excited to actually get to those. Anyways, teasing, I guess. Something that happened to me the other day that I really wanted to talk about, which I did not like, when I'm working on something that doesn't require me to listen, like it's not an audio based thing, even though like I'm an audio engineer, audio editor, whatever, like other producer stuff. I like to have music on, right? And normally, like it's lo-fi, whatever. Cat System Core is usually a go-to, but I also love video game soundtracks, as you guys know, and I'm sure you guys too, of course. But I love listening to like lo-fi remixes of video game soundtracks, synthwave remixes, whatever, right? Like more vibey stuff. So usually like Game Chops is a great YouTube channel, a great artist who has a lot of that stuff, but I've listened to their things like multiple times throughout the years, so I'm trying to look for other things. So lately I've been listening to city pop versions, remixes of soundtracks that I like. Zelda, Street Fighter, whatever. Chrono Trigger, whatever. I just found out this week, after listening to this stuff for weeks, maybe a couple of months, like I actually finally looked in the description, and it says that the entire thing from all of these videos I've watched, right? All of these videos that I see, it's all city pop, whatever, is completely AI generated. Ooh. Or if not, the majority is AI generated. And I don't like that. I don't know how, like, I was about to say I don't know how I feel about it. I do know how to feel about it. I don't like it. And it's crazy because, like, was I enjoying it while listening to it? Yes, because one, these are soundtracks and songs that I've heard millions of times by playing the actual games, and I already come to love it, right? Like, I already like the core melody, the core tune of the song. I just like to hear it in a lower fidelity sometimes or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna still like the actual music, but I don't like the fact that it wasn't made by like an actual human person. And I'm not trying to get too political about this AI stuff. Like I agree to like, AI art is not art, of course, protect our voice actors in games and shows and stuff, protect their rights for work, right? Not to get replaced by AI. Like I support all of that stuff, which I think is common sense. It's just, I don't like with music again, like I don't like it because it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Just like, what am I listening to really? You know what? Does that make sense? I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up for discussion.
Absolutely. And I do agree. The whole AI art isn't art discussion is one that I have a lot of opinions on.
Let's talk about it.
Usually it involves painted art, right? Pictures, generation, right? However, music is art. The arts encompass everything from paintings to pictures to music to literature to film to even video games. I strongly believe that video games are art. Now,
100%.
What is art? It is something that requires intent, right? AI is a tool, sure, but it can't create art. Art is an expression. It needs. It's conveying something, right? Emotion, memory, trauma, rebellion, love, whatever you want, like something. Like real art in its truest sense is an expression. And the machine, the robot, can't express. It can mimic aesthetic output like perfectly, right? But it doesn't embody the creative process. So when you hear music, somebody made that. Somebody heard something. And especially these video game remakes, because that adds an entire layer of it, nostalgia or just general appreciation or something that's like, okay, I hear this, but I've heard this other song and I've heard this other beat that they can put it together. When the machine does it, it's just it's mimicking it, right? It is regurgitating things that it has seen on the internet, putting them together and shooting it out there, and it's fine as a tool. When it creates that, you can call it music because it sounds like music, but it is not art. Same thing in the painted or picture generated form. You can look at that and be like, oh, that's an image. It definitely is an image. It is a picture, absolutely, but it's not art. The robot can't create it, and the person that is like, well, I input it in there. I did the things, right? I gave it the prompt. You just typed something. Like that's not the same thing as creating. You typed something, and whatever the robot decided to create is a very convincing facsimile of what you might have had in your mind, but it is not art. It is not your input. Or sorry, it is not your output.
Yes, I agree. I think I love that you said that It doesn't create art. It creates images. You're right. I 100% agree. And yeah, it doesn't just fall to visual arts, but all art forms. Because, of course, companies are trying to use AI for making video games entirely out of the AI, or of course with music, of course with replacing, the voice talent or whatever. And it's crazy, and that's not the same because, of course, there is that human spirit, right? There is that intention behind what you make that matters, that gives the final product meaning. Now, if something with that is devoid of any of actual real emotions and thoughts and has any complexities other than ones and zeros, creates a thing, that's not the same. That doesn't have any emotion or complexity to it. I, for one, will support using AI for data collection in the sense of let's say I'm a journalist, right? I can use this as a example. If I have a shit ton of data from different sources, like spreadsheets of numbers to cross-reference or whatever from different programs or sites or whatever, and I use AI to be like, hey, can you organize all of this information? Don't change anything. Just organize it to a more streamlined thing so I can look and cross-reference. And it does it. Great. Perfect. I think that's the perfect use of AI. Is it a tool? Yes. It's how you use the tool, right? That really matters. Can you use a hammer to paint? Yeah, you can, but that's not effective, and you shouldn't really. But that's my point. If you want to use AI to I don't know, help outline some of your data points or whatever, I think that's fine. But anything more than that, I think it's listen, man, I think you should rethink and probably, take the time to develop the skill to make the type of art you want.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. AI should be used as a tool because AI is a tool. Right now, I think AI, is super cool. I think it's one of the coolest things out there. Right now, it's a novelty. People are throwing it at everything and seeing what sticks, In a couple of years, when the hype dies down, it's going to be used exactly for what you're describing, Jared, for data collection, for streamlining processes. However, everything we said about AI not being art and all of that stuff, you could be angry about that. And we haven't even mentioned about the ethical dilemma that comes with AI taking potential jobs away from the already starving artists and content creators and music makers and all of that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right. So AI, like anything, is a tool, but also like any tool, it could be misused. And I believe that it is not inherently misused when it is used to generate images or music or whatever, but when it is passed off as authentic, I made this stuff.
There it is.
Absolutely not.
There it is. That's the kicker right there. That's the final nail in this coffin. Point is about this whole AI discussion, support your favorite artists, support the actual human beings that create the thing that you love. I'm not saying go give them money. Nah, you don't, just like it, share it, watch it, listen to it, enjoy it however you want to. But what I should have done at the beginning of this, when I click on a YouTube video to listen to a certain type of song or a certain type of soundtrack made a certain type of way, right? Remixed in a certain type of way, I should have paid more attention to what I was clicking on. I should have, read the description of okay, who's this by? I should also learn the name of the artist. If I would have done that, I would have saw that this was AI, and I'm nope, not going to do it. I want to, let me go back to Game Chops, or let me go back to Cat System Core, because I love those guys, and yeah, shout outs to them. So that's the whole point. I'm really glad that we got to have a good discussion about it right before the Delta Quest.
Last time on the Delta Quest, our brave group of adventurers fought off homeless forest bandits, Zambo lost an arm and gained a jaw, and Erzahc became a chef on account of all the cooking he's going to supposedly be doing. Join us as our mighty adventurers tackle their most exciting quest yet. when last I left you guys, you were coming up on the town of Yartar.
Yartar!
Yartar! It is it's a town surrounded by a large river that kind of separates these two land masses. And as you guys are coming up to it, you see some river birds. I don't know what birds live in rivers, but you see river birds. You see you see a bridge with a half-orc standing guard, kind of lazily leaning on his staff as you guys come up, and he just kind of goes like, "Sup, business or pleasure?"
Hi, pleasure, I guess?
Yeah, I don't really. It's just something I say, not real. Yeah, you can go right ahead. Any of you got passports, papers, identification?
No, I don't think so. Erzahc, do you?
I thought we could just walk in. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Usually that's how it goes, but every now and again, some people we're trying to like have like some sort of semblance of who comes in, who goes out, but most people just kind of don't. I don't really know. I don't even have an idea. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know when people get those. Anyways, welcome to Yartar, he says as he points down to the drawbridge that is not gated or guarded in any fashion. Just you can go right through.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome.
You guys get led through. You cross the drawbridge. You walk up to the town. As you're crossing the bridge, the actual stone bridge, you see docks at the bottom towards your. It's a relatively large river, and you see the docks. You see the fish market, the trade. You walk a little bit further into the entrance of the town. There's a residential district. There's a regular market, and far off ahead, towards what appears to be the center, is a large, adorned building with multiple floors where you can safely assume that the governing body of this town, city, resides. As you walk in, Ruby kind of sniffs and scrunches up her face, and she goes, "I hate the smell of fish."
Yeah, you're not a big fish person?
No, I'm a drow. She says dryly. This was not a joke.
I would like to make a strength. May I roll for strength?
Go ahead. Oh, yeah? Wait, what do you want to do?
I want to toss Ruby in the water.
Wow!
You want to toss Ruby? Okay. I guess roll me an attack at advantage, because she definitely didn't expect you to do that.
Is she going to do strength or dexterity? Because then I'll just roll for one of those.
She's going to do dexterity.
Dexterity? Then I will do dexterity as well. I rolled a 19.
Yeah, she got an 11. So you did manage to grapple her. I mean, did you grab her, you grapple her, you try to lift her off the ground, and she is just unmoving. She is stone on the ground, and you're like struggling to pick her up, and she just kind of goes, can I help you?
No. And I just walk away in a sour mood.
I'm assuming all that happened behind me.
Yeah, like in a second, she puts her hands on her hips, and she goes like, "If you want a hug, like I can, definitely not me, but that guy." She says, pointing at Zambo, and guys, Zambo with his one freakishly large arm goes, "I'll give you a hug."
Guys, you guys can cuddle later. Right now, we should probably find a map store or something, like a market, right?
A map store? That's insane.
A map store.
That's crazy, says Ruby.
So I was thinking Ruby and I will go to the market, find some maps, some local intel, right? While Erzahc and Beans find an inn or something, or a place just to long rest, to chill out for a minute, so we can have our dragon back.
Zambo tilts his head and goes, "Beans?"
Oh my god. That's... Wow. I am so sorry, Zam. I don't know what happened. It just slipped out.
It's all right. It happens. I mean, kind of. Do I give off Beans?
No. It's.
I thought he turns to Erzahc and whispers, "I thought I was giving Wissingtonmas." Listen,
we had a long night last night of no nonstop walking, as you remember. My mind is not in the right place, so I think I am so sorry.
It's fine.
Let's split up.
Under the bridge.
Erzahc, Zam, go ahead and do your thing. Long rest. Do whatever you got to do. If you also want to browse around, look for extra weapons or whatever, or whatever, feel free. We'll come find you. Ruby, let's go to the marketplace.
All right, she says.
I'm gonna cross my arms, pick my chin up, breathe real loud, just aggressively, and say, no.
Ruby stops in her tracks, turns around, and goes, what do you mean no?
I want to go with Pike to the store.
You go with the zombie? I gotta talk to Pike, actually, Ruby says. And she's standing her ground.
Then I will follow.
the Zambo goes, well, I don't want to go alone. Wait, come with me. We can do something.
I want to bend down, crouch all the way down, and I guess this could be like a strength check, but I'm going to tell Zambo to get on my back.
Oh. I'll just give it. Well, I'll just give it to you. He weighs a little bit more than he did, but not by much. Zambo's like, oh, okay, piggyback ride. And
I pick up, and I walk towards Pike, and I say, proceed.
Ruby's like, okay, you know what? This is actually a conversation that I can have with both of you. She points to you as you guys start walking towards the market. She points to Erzahc, and she goes, I haven't seen this too much out of you, but then again, I don't know how you'll react in the situation. And then she turns back to Pike and goes, you, on the other hand, listen, I understand the type of agreement that we all have right now, but I need to be certain that when the time comes, you're not gonna bitch out when it comes to the lich. Like I don't know what feelings of friendship might still be down there harboring, as you've just clearly shown. But all of that out the window, I need to know that you're not gonna freeze, because it's my life on the line.
Oh, I can assure you that there's not gonna be any freezing. I made a deal with a very, very persuading dragon, very similar to the one behind you. I'm not gonna go back on that deal, man. Like, I'd rather deal with a lich than a dragon. So, like, don't even worry about that, man.
Okay. Well, as long as I know that your life is on the line if you don't follow through, I'm good. She turns to Erzahc, and she's like, do I gotta worry about you? All right. Okay. Then she turns to Zambo, still riding on Erzak's back, like piggyback, right? And she's like, I'm not too worried about you. I could, like, Eldritch Blast or kill you, whatever, if you turn. Yeah. And then, you guys just keep walking to the market. So you eventually get to the market. You see a strange set of bazaars and stalls, mixing, matching, a lot of strange smells. Some are food, some are steel. You see, it looks kind of similar to the market district in the last town that you guys were in Neverwinter.
Sure.
However, this one seems a little bit more. The Neverwinter one was bigger, obviously. It had a lot more space. It had a lot more people, but they were more spaced out. This one seems more like a bazaar. It's more like compact. They're not really stores so much as they are stands, and there's a lot of them are like sort of laying out on the floor on like mattresses or pillows and carpets and such. And you see an assortment of markets. You see food vendors, you see armorers, you see weaponsmiths, blacksmiths, and such. What are you looking for?
Pike, can you find me a magic shop?
Can I find you a magic shop? Sure. Should I, like, roll for investigation? Or...
yeah. Well, I mean, okay, if you're looking for there is a magic shop. There is there's a tiny sort of makeshift stall, I guess you could say, with a gnome sitting on a stool, right? And in hastily written letters, it says, Jobby's Magic Emporium. And as you guys, I mean, do you make your way to it?
Yeah, Erzahc, I see one right over here. You want to go there?
Yes, please.
Okay.
As you guys start walking towards this Magic Emporium, the ground itself begins to lift, or seemingly begins to lift, sending his magic, like he's still there on his stool and on his little stand, but then he starts grabbing onto his stool. He's like, whoa, what's going on? Hey, what? And then it just kind of, a building magically lifts out of the ground, and it is a much better looking magic emporium, like a genuine magic emporium.
That's fun.
You look at this, you see that it's a regular, actual magic emporium, and as the details are materializing on there, you have some designs, you have a sign that is empty, and in glitter and sparkles and magical letters, the following words materialize. Madame Raz's Magic Emporium.
Oh my
Part
god!
2. Yeah. Yeah, Jobby, the gnome on top, just kind of, he's throwing a fit. He's like, damn it, this was my son of a, I can't believe I can't have anything around here. And yeah, there you are. Yeah, there you are in front of Madame Raz's Magical Emporium, Part 2.
Oh my god, Erzahc, look what it is!
Am I supposed to know who she is?
Yeah, don't you remember Madame Raz back at Neverwinter?
The weird old lady?
Yes, the weird old lady.
I don't care about her. I'm looking for books.
Zambo pokes Erzahc, and he goes in his ear, and he's like, hey man, you alright? You want to talk about anything? You seem a little down.
I just want books. Give me books now.
It's not often where Erzahc asks for books, so if he wants books, he wants books. So let's go get him some books. All right. So let's walk in, open the door, and I go, Madame Raz, guess what time it is?
Madame Raz, the same stout little old lady from Neverwinter, is in there with her shelf. She turns around, she goes, is it razzle-dazzle time?
You know it, lady. How have you been, you old pirate?
I've been good. I've been great, actually. You know, I just finally managed to find the most efficient way to have a franchise, a genuine franchise, in any place that I see fit. I saw this movie, you see. Yeah, I saw this movie, this film. It was projected through magic, of course. That's how films are here in Faerun. Information that everybody knows. I don't know why I am reiterating this. However,
yeah, of course.
I saw this film, and it just gave me this great idea. I don't have to start making multiple instances of my Emporium. I could just bring my Emporium to multiple instances of a market.
That's incredible. So, like, this exact store is what was in Neverwinter.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
What is in Neverwinter, actually. What you are standing in right now is actually a really believable illusion. So believable, in fact, that you believe you're touching it. And the people around you believe that you walked into this building. In reality, what happened is that you guys are all just standing around, and there's this, like, small gnome guy kind of throwing a fit because he believes that I raised a building out of the ground and pushed him out of his area.
Wow, that sounds so magically complicated. I'm not even going to try to dissect that. I'm just going to say, yep, okay, that's great. I'm really happy for you, Madame Raz. I'm glad that you're expanding. Hey, can you help our friend Erzahc here find some books?
Absolutely. What type of books are you looking for, young man? She says, as she, puts her chin on her palm.
Therma, I need book on teleportation.
Teleportation. Let's see. She goes through her ledger, and she goes, well, I don't exactly have any books of teleportation. What I do have are single-use scrolls that are essentially the same thing as casting the teleportation spell.
By chance, my previous journeys, I've heard of a home of teleportation. Do you have that? And Pike, how many daggers do you have?
2.
Cool. We might need to get you more.
Oh. Okay.
She goes, well, yes, a helm of teleportation does exist. I don't have one on me right now. And even if I did, I don't think you guys would be able to afford it. However, I'm going to do something for you, okay?
Okay.
I like you guys.
Aww.
I like you guys a lot.
We like you too.
It's okay. I know. And you're going to like me a lot more after what I have in store for you, okay? So.
Sorry, that was really funny.
I have to be. Yeah. So Madame Raz clasps her hands together and goes, I have to be honest with you guys. This whole teleporting, illusion, magical emporium store thing, it's not exactly an original idea. Yes, I did see it in a film. However, when I went ahead to actually implement it, it turns out there is another... She clears her throat and tries to compose herself, and she goes, it appears that I might have some competition. There's this little she-elf across the pond who also has a magical traveling emporium of sorts, giving wondrous items out for I don't care. A little nice, friendly competition is fine or whatever, right? But it appears to me, right, that every single town that I hit, she hits. Now, there are plenty of towns and cities in Faerun. There is no need for her to be following me around like some mangy mutt trying to poach my customers, because you know what she does? She sells wondrous items. Instead of people bringing their items to me so that I could enchant them, perhaps maybe even enrune them, my bread and butter, she just sells them like that right off the bat. Overpriced, might I add. If anybody in this town has a helm of teleportation, it will be her. Now, what I'm doing for you is letting you know that it's in there and that it is not heavily guarded. And what you guys can perhaps do for me is not buy it.
Okay.
She goes silent after that.
No. Grandma, do you like Pike?
She looks at Pike and she goes, yeah, I like him quite a bit.
I want to help Pike. Help me help Pike.
If anybody is going to be acquiring something without buying it, I think I'm the best suited for this.
Whether or not you acquire it, she says, looking up and putting her hands up in like a, I have nothing to do with this sort of pose. If somebody perchance were to need to acquire something, it didn't come from me. All I'm saying is it would help me a lot if you didn't buy it. The one that is in her emporium, right across the... Sorry, I said pond earlier. What I meant was fountain. Yeah, I said pond. I meant fountain.
That's okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So, a little bit of a retcon.
I want to sit on the ground, cross my legs, and I'm going to point down at the ground for her to sit down with me as well.
She looks at him and she's like, curious, but I'll oblige. She levitates up over the counter, and you can see that her full frame, she's very stout. It looks like she was standing on top of like an elevated surface, but when she actually touches back down onto the ground, she doesn't even need to sit in order to be the same height as sitting at Erzahc, but she does so anyways, and now she's even smaller. Yeah.
Do you know
it's like, how can I help you?
The helm of teleportation teleports?
Oh, absolutely. You get 3 uses of it per day, and it recharges every 24-hour cycle. So you would put it on, think of an area, maybe one that you can see, one that you've been to at least before, one that you at least are aware of, and then you would just teleport.
Can we make something weaker but better?
Madame Raz clasps her hands together, and she thinks back to the potions that you had bought from her back in Neverwinter, and she goes, I don't know, nor do I need to know what you did with the potions that I sold to you back in Neverwinter. And please don't tell me, I imagine it was quite illegal. But I can only surmise that it was most likely some sort of alchemic mix and matching, so to speak. So tell me, what do you have in mind regarding the helm?
I want you to help me make something. And with that, if you do it right now, I will offer you 20 gold in the destruction of your competitor's shop.
She blinks and she goes, I cannot condone any destruction of anybody's property. Whatever you do after I help you with whatever you need help with is freely given. I have nothing to do with me.
Hey, Madame Raz.
Yes?
We understand. We got you.
Okay, what do you need?
I'm going to look at Pike, stick my hand out, and request of Pike's daggers.
Okay, here you go.
And I'm going to place them both in front of her, Madame Raz, and I'm going to ask her to make them the same as the helm of teleportation. Each individual dagger. But since it's such short notice, Jared cannot use these and like the way the helm of teleportation uses it. Like you say, think of a place. That's not the way Jared's going to use them. He gets to plant them and teleport to where the dagger is.
Oh, I get it. So like if I throw it and it hits something, I teleport myself to the dagger.
Yes.
It's not that the dagger's teleporting like into something.
Yes. It's you going to wherever the dagger is. That'll be the difference.
Gotcha.
Inato namikaze. Okay, that's so cool. That's so cool. All right. So Madame Raz looks at the daggers for a minute, and she goes, what you want is possible. What I need is time and a helm of teleportation. So I'm going to do the following. She says, grabbing the daggers. She's like, I'm going to take these daggers. I'm going to infuse them with magic. I'm going to prepare a ritual while you guys go out and procure a helm of teleportation for me. And if some competitor's shop happens to burn to the ground with the competitor still alive, watching her life's work go to waste, well, it's just another day in Tartar.
Understood. Yeah. If anything, this gives Erzahc some time to long rest, and if you want me to scope it out for you, Erzahc, or no?
I guess I accept. You said you know how to make the helm, but I will go get it.
I would need it, yes. But once I will start now, right, infusing these with magic and preparing the ritual, and it'll take me some time, but by the time you guys come with the helm, it should be done, right? Especially if you need to long rest. In fact, please do. Take some time. It will take more than 8 hours. But once you come with the helm, I should have the ritual ready, and all I would have to do is transfer its enchanted essence into the daggers, and then they will work as you suggested.
Cool.
Okay, if you go now, bye-bye, she says as she takes the daggers and, like, flies, like, into, like, this time not levitate, like, flies. Like, she just nooms off of the place that she was sitting into, back past her bookshelves and stuff and the counter into her actual, like, alchemy lab or whatever.
Yeah.
And while she does, Neon also flying, just, like, an array of neon colors, whirls around her as she does. So she looks like a shooting star, actually. Like, just go back into her thing, and her entire shop just kind of like dematerializes in this giant display of magical frenzy, leaving all of you just standing exactly where you were in front of the gnome. And in Erzach's hand materializes a small card that says, "Tap this when you're ready," and at the bottom just like an MR signature, Madame Raz.
Well, it's still daytime. Let's find an inn. Let's rest. Let's wait till night, so then we can scope it out and do whatever we need to do.
I will give the card to Pike.
Cool.
Pike has the card now.
I have the card.
I'm going to just lay down on the ground, and before anybody knows that I'm asleep.
That's
wait, right there in the middle of the market district.
Yep.
one way to do it. Okay. As soon as he's out, he's out.
Okay. Well, that's 8 hours starting now for Chaz.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That way, I wake up when Jared is ready to go to the place, and then
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Zam, do you want to stay with Erzahc? Just watch over him. And Ruby, do you want to go scope out this place?
Zam uses his he tries to salute at you, but he's still not used to the weight of his arm, his new giant buff arm. So he kind of like smacks himself in the face and just goes, "Yes, yeah, I got him." And,
thank you, man.
Yeah. So he just sits down next to Erzahc, staring at him, unblinking.
Good.
That's it.
Good job, man.
Yeah, there are other people around, like a dwarf walks by and looks at them and just goes, he kind of chuckles a bit. A human and a tiefling are standing in the back, kind of what's going on over there? Okay, yeah, let's give it a wide berth.
Ruby, do you want to come scope this place out?
I suppose.
Thank you.
All right, so just before Pike and Ruby walks away, I want to mumble while I'm half asleep Ruby's name, to say Ruby, just to get her attention to look at me. And then if she turns around...
She does hear this because she has impeccable hearing.
Great. When she looks at me, she's just going to see one arm in the air with a middle finger up. That's it.
She smirks because now, for the first time, she knows exactly what... Not that she cared before about why your mood was sour, but it finally dawned on her why your mood was sour. And she smirks. She doesn't acknowledge it she sees your middle finger and she smirks.
I point to that and I just go to Ruby. He likes you.
It's like, no.
All right, let's head over. Yeah. Madame Raz said it was across the fountain, so let's get over there now. Do you remember? God, I just forgot. Do you remember what this place was called?
No, but I'm pretty sure I can notice a magical emporium. Also,
Fair.
I thought you were a rogue, she says, crossing her arms.
I am.
So what rogue walks right up to the place that they're going to scope out to rob that same night in the clothes that they're going to rob them in? We need some disguises.
Who says I was going to walk up to it?
We're going to be in the general vicinity of it. Any rogue worth their salt knows that we need disguises. Maybe a robe or a cloak or something. I mean, we're in a bazaar right now. It would take us like 2 minutes to find
robe
something.
and a cloak, that's so cliche and outdated and so last year. Just trust me. I'm not trying to go by the place. Do you see where it is? Can I also roll an investigation to pinpoint where it is?
You absolutely can roll an investigation.
It is a 28.
Okay, all right. So you zero in on the fountain, and you see that there are a few buildings past it, more pristine-looking buildings, other businesses as well. And smack in the middle of it, one kind of sort of stands out a little bit. It looks more flashy, and you can't read the sign from here, but you can assume that might be the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What other stores are around it? Like beside it, behind it, whatever.
So to the right of it, there is a store. There's a building that has some outdoor seating, some people sitting on top, on the chairs and tables and such, eating, dining. To the left of it, or if I already said left, then to the other side of it, to the right, there is a glass building entirely made out of glass, and you can see right into it and like inside, but it looks confusing. You can see through the glass, but it doesn't look like there's anything inside of it. In fact, it looks like it's difficult to describe. Like you're looking at what you should be looking through, but it all looks jumbled. Okay, for some reason.
I want to enter that building. I just tell Ruby, trust me, follow me. The glass building. We proceed inside it, and I want to take out my mind reading orb, and I want to try and use it and try to like kind of daredevil focus to the shop owner and just see what read her mind about like, whatever she's thinking of.
All right. As you walk inside the glass building, you see that it does have things inside of it. It has a floor, and it has some bookcases, and it has like a bench and a general common area, and it's all made of glass. All of it is made of glass. The books in the bookshelves are made of glass. And you take out the
which is also glass.
Orb. Yes, it is also glass. Yes, and you move it past Ruby for a split second, and it hurts a little bit as you like it hurts your hand. And she goes, "Nah, I got mental fortitude. Okay, silver lining in the skull.
Good for you. I'm not. This isn't about you. Like, don't be so self-centered. Scooch."
So she moves, and you start hearing glass. Not shattering, but like tapping on the glass, scratching on glass. You just hear a lot of sounds, a lot of different sounds that are glass. And can you? What's your passive
perception is 16.
16. Oh, you finally realize for the first time since you walked in here, there's a person standing in front of you, a man made out of glass.
Cool.
Yeah. He goes, well, he doesn't speak. When he speaks, it sounds like glass, but because of the orb, you can understand, sort of, in a way. You can't understand the language, but you understand somehow that what he is saying is, what are you doing in my house?
Oh my god, I didn't even see you. You probably get that a lot. Sorry, I did not see you, or I thought this was like a museum or like an exhibit. I am so sorry to intrude.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I mean, I thought you were actually in here looking for me. I get people walking in out of curiosity all the time. I mean, can I help you with anything?
No, I mean, I have this glass orb here. Then I figured, why not admire it in a glass building? What I assume to be like a museum or a showcasing of glass.
Roll me a
deception. Oh, come on. Okay.
Come on, roll me a deception.
Over here trying to get away with it.
It's a 7.
Okay. This man has no brain, and you can see that. So he looks at you with your 7, and he goes, "Makes sense to me."
Cool.
And just moves out of the way. However, when you actually
so
point
funny.
the glass towards... Yeah, when you point the glass towards the wall of the building that you are trying to scope out, nothing.
Okay. Damn, dude. Well, can I turn back to the glass dude and ask him, hey, do you know about that magic emporium place that's like next door?
The glass man's like, yeah, I do. It's run by this elf, and she sells magic armor. Not my cup of tea. None of it is made of glass for some reason.
Yeah, which, glass is obviously the most prettiest types of elements, especially for armor and slippers. Do you know anything else about the place? I've been thinking about getting some enchanted equipment, specifically glass slippers. That's why I mentioned it, or like a glass carrying case for this glass ball. But I want to make sure that I'm buying something from someone who's respectable and doesn't have like a weird, dark past or anything. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I wouldn't know anything about her past, but I don't think she's respectable at all. I walked in there much like you, looking for some glass footwear. Impeccable taste, by the way, says the glass man. But she just gave me this attitude talking about how, I shouldn't even be in there. There's nothing that I could even wear that could save me from being shattered and whatnot. She was quite rude. She was quite rude, actually. I would not patronize her.
Understood.
Were I you?
Do you know what time the place closes? And does she live there, or does she
Oh, that's the worst part, my friend. It's 24 hours.
It's 24 hours?
She lives there. Yes, she is constantly inside of there. Ruby Ruby chuckles a little bit, but she doesn't, interject. And he goes, she lives there. It's 24 hours, so I'm constantly seeing people making her money. And that means that I have to continue to live next to this very rude, very mean person that doesn't sell any glass. I think that's the worst part, because I've met some rude people, but at least they have glass on them. They have glass jewelry or glasses even, but no, no glass on her whatsoever.
It's a shame too, because glass crafting, the craftsmanship for glass, is fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like often days I want to give her a piece of my mind, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority here. People don't really care. But, you've given me a little bit of courage. Maybe I will stand up to her one of these days.
I can tell that you have a very sharp tongue.
Oh, I do. I do. Thank you.
Exactly. That's the pun. I get it. See? Okay. Well, thank you so much, sir. I'm sorry. We'll get out of your hair or your glass house now. But thank you so much for the conversation.
No, that's fine. Listen, I can see that you two are people of culture. You are welcome inside of my glass house.
Right. Thank you so much. So now I want to head outside, and from outside of the glass house, I want to roll an investigation, I guess, again, or just I want to know what's around me again from this angle. What can I see?
So it is a 2-story emporium. From where you are right now, it doesn't really seem like there's any point of entrance or egress aside from the main door where people are walking in and out of, wearing different levels of magic gear on them. However, if you were to go around the building, you'll notice that there is a fire escape, for lack of a better term, that leads to the top floor. And a window. There are other windows around there, but they don't look like they open. They look like they're more performative windows to look at, but it doesn't appear that they're actual windows. However, in the very top left of the back of the house, where the fire escape ladder is at, there appears to be a genuine window.
Okay. I turn to Ruby. All right. I think I've gathered all the information I need. Now, what were you saying about disguises?
She says, well, finally. I mean, I guess it's not like you ever listen to what I have to say, but if you perchance would like to know, I saw a couple of robes and cloaks over there.
Robes and cloaks
by the bazaar.
Again. Okay. All right, fine. Let's go find a cloak.
So you guys make it back to the bazaar. there's still like a lot of clutter and people walking around, but now there's like a big hole in the center because
Erzahc.
Erzahc is there, and anytime anybody comes even remotely like close and breaks it, Zambo looks at them and he just stands up. Normally he's not a very intimidating individual, but he's got like a chiseled jaw and one arm that is just so buff right now, so people just walk the other way, and then he sits back down and stares at Erzahc. There is a clothier merchant, right, who has an assortment of boots and pants and, hey, wouldn't you know it, cloaks.
Yeah. As we're walking to Erzahc, I just want to use my sleight of hands and just like, as walking by, as if nothing happened, just, snag a cloak.
Before you do that,
okay.
What is your level in Arcana?
It level?
Sorry, like what's your bonus modifier plus, I guess?
+3.
+3. What's your is that your intelligence?
Intelligence. Oh, intelligence is +7.
Mm-hmm. And what's your passive insight?
12.
Actually, no, sorry. Perception. 13? Oh, so 16?
16.
Okay,
16.
okay. So, roll me an Arcana check.
Arcana check. Is it just rolling Arcana?
Yeah, it's just rolling Arcana.
Okay.
Use that birthday inspiration that I totally gave you to re-roll that Arcana check.
Wow.
Use that inspiration that you had, that not because of your birthday, to re-roll that Arcana check.
Oh my god.
You know what?
It's a 4, 6, and 11.
You do the thing, you do your sleight of hand. You don't even need to roll because you're so f***ing good at being a rogue until you're done. But you're just not very good at the brain aspect of it. And you swing by.
It comes naturally. I don't have to think about it. It's natural.
No. You actually fail upwards. You try to like sleight of hand one of them, and there's like some magical interference happening in your brain. And I don't know, you kind of like sort of semi-trip and you don't grab the one that you meant to grab, but you grab a different one and pull it off of the thing, right? And the guy who was manning the stall was so focused on watching Zambo intimidate a Goliath, actually, who was just kind of like trying to stepping back with his arms up in a defensive position, and Zambo's like doing the 2 fingers to the eyes, like I got my eye on you sort of thing. That he doesn't notice this happen. And as you do, you feel a weird, like a strange something coming out of the particular one that you grabbed. And let me just roll an Arcana with Ruby for a second. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing.
Arcana's
Ruby
not great, man.
Looks at you and
Rolled
looks
a
at the
3.
cloak, and no. It's not for us. I thought maybe Ruby knew something about magic, but she's blind, bro. Does she have she doesn't even have no, she has no inspiration either. Why doesn't she have an inspiration? Whatever. But yeah, you grab a robe, and she follows suit. She grabs one as well. Cloak.
Cool.
Like that.
Cool. And then I want to just proceed to Erzahc and just shove everybody out of the way and just stand over Erzahc. And I wait for Ruby to come stand next to me, and I'm like, you happy now?
It takes about 3 hours for Ruby to walk up next to you, but she's there finally, and the sun has somewhat began to set. Not quite, but it's around there. The bazaar is starting to, fizzle out, and Ruby walks up to you and she goes, yeah, I'm pretty happy now. She says as she kind of like, not kicks Erzahc, but prods him with her foot. Yeah. As she does, she puts her cloak on, right? Puts her hoodie on, and, she's there looking like a real mysterious individual. And she goes, I'm ready when you are. As soon as that sun is set, I'm going in there and I'm getting that helm.
Okay.
She motions for you to, I don't know, do the same if you wanted to.
Yeah, I put on my cloak.
Okay. And you put on your cloak like regular, you don't feel anything, but then Zambo starts screaming. He just goes, what, where did? And then Ruby, like you see the expression on her face change, and she's just like looking around, blinking.
Ooh. What's going on?
And Zambo goes, wait, Pike? Wait, is that you from above? And Ruby goes, oh, son of a bitch, of course it had to be him. God damn it. Or, sorry, God's damn it.
It had to be what? What are you talking about?
Of course, leave it to the klutz of the group, the one guy that everything just so happens to work for hey, dumbass, you got a cloak of invisibility on pure accident. I don't even think that idiot that was shelling it knew what it was.
Invincibility?
No, invisibility. If you want to try for invincibility, she says, taking out a dagger, I'd be more than happy to help.
Oh yeah, how? You can't see me.
She grits her teeth and she's like, and then puts the dagger back in. Like, in the sheath.
Cool. Just wait till Erzahc sees this. Oh, man. Okay, well, that was the Delta Quest, guys. Oh, my God. I think it's a pretty long one, but, you know, I like this. We got a little side quest going for some enchantments. It's like a standard RPG.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Hell yeah, man. Well, this episode has already gone on long enough. We're just going to call it here. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
All right, that's all the time we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Razzle Dazzle Show. Be sure to let us know what you think about this episode somewhere on the internet. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at Razzle Dazzle Show, on TikTok at Razzle_Dazzle_Show, on Blue Sky at RazDaz Show Pod, and on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Raz_Daz_Pod. Be sure to rate us 5 stars and leave a comment down below. We'll catch you on the next one. Next time on The Razzle Dazzle Show.
And so I got to do the Slime King, which I loved doing.
Yo, La Baba?
I love La Baba Royal.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was my favorite. Part of it was also just my, you know, I've got like a Yellow Devil shirt, like a Mega Man shirt for every day of the week or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I was pretty happy to do
a Yellow Devil, yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Everybody who worked on LC, right? Because Pedro and Alex and Eric are this way too. We love that type of stuff in games. We love that not only if you feel compelled to complete it, but we want there to be a payoff for it,
yeah,
you know?
Of course.
Like, I know.
Completion bonus, baby.
That's right. And I mean, you even look at, there's stuff that's coming in the game, right, that isn't there yet, right? Like Jackie, for example.
Yeah.
And she keeps track of all that
un
stuff, all that
cafecito?
data. Yeah. Oh, dude, I hope so. Yeah.
Tara,
yeah, dude, I'm excited for that. And you can change the heat level.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a lot of fun stuff that we definitely want to do and that we definitely have planned. And
tune in next week.